You ever feel like there's a war inside your head? One voice says, "Go for it," and another screams, "You'll embarrass yourself." Here's the truth, that second voice isn't you. It's one of 7 psychological puppeteers hijacking your mind. Today, we're exposing them, starting with the one that makes you apologize for existing. If you've ever cancelled plans because you're too much, or stayed quiet to avoid rocking the boat, smash that like button. Let's begin. Firstly, let's talk about the people pleaser. You apologize for things you didn't do. Your friend's mad, you say sorry. Your boss is stressed, you work overtime, rain on someone's wedding day. Somehow that feels like your fault too. People pleasers tie their worth to how useful they are to others. You're constantly monitoring facial expressions, tone shifts, and mood changes, exhausting yourself with hypervigilance. But here's the twisted part. The more you people please, the less people respect you. Why? Because boundaries aren't mean, they're magnetic. Think about the people you genuinely respect. Do they constantly bend over backward to accommodate everyone? No, they stand firm in their worth. They say no when they need to. If you're thinking, but what if they leave? Ask yourself, do I even like them, or do I just need their approval? Truth bomb. You can't buy love with obedience. That's a transaction, not a relationship. Here's your first step. Next time someone asks for something, say, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." That tiny pause creates space for your authentic yes or no to emerge. Remember, confidence starts when you say, "I exist for me first." The right people will adjust, the wrong ones will resist, and that's valuable information. Secondly, meet the perfectionist. You'd rather fail than be average. You've abandoned countless projects, hobbies, and opportunities because they weren't perfect enough. Sound familiar? Perfectionists don't actually want excellence. They want a force field against judgment. Think about it. You delay projects, nitpick tiny flaws, or ghost opportunities because it's not ready. You have 3 half-written novels, dozens of unshared photos, and business ideas that never saw daylight because they weren't perfect enough. But here's the secret psychology. Perfectionism is procrastination in a tuxedo. You'd rather be seen as lazy than risk being called bad. You'd rather have potential than proof. Newsflash. Imperfection is human, and humans connect. Your messy draft? Post it. Your awkward joke? Say it. Your imperfect business? Launch it. The world doesn't reward perfection, it rewards courage. Studies show that good enough action takers outperform someday perfect dreamers every single time. Why? Because they get real feedback, not imaginary criticism. They improve through iteration, not isolation. Try this. Set a timer for 30 minutes and work on that thing you've been avoiding, with the rule that it can't be perfect. Make it deliberately messy. Watch what happens when you lower the stakes and raise your output. Perfectionism dies in the face of playfulness. Thirdly, there's the imposter. You think your success is a clerical error. Promotions, luck, praise. They're just being nice. Awards? Anyone could have done it. Imposters live in fear of being exposed. Even with mountains of evidence, they're qualified. Let me ask you this. How many accomplishments would it take for you to finally feel legitimate? 10 more, 100? The truth is, the imposter archetype isn't solved by achievement. It's resolved through acceptance. Why? Because this archetype confuses humility with self-erasure. It mistakes confidence for arrogance. It assumes claiming your strengths means you think you're perfect. Let's get controversial. Confidence isn't believing you're the best, it's trusting you belong in the room. It's acknowledging both your strengths and weaknesses without shame. Think of Serena Williams or Elon Musk. They're not flawless, they just refuse to gaslight themselves out of their own potential. Here's a practice. Start keeping an evidence journal. Every time you receive positive feedback, complete something challenging or help someone, write it down. Review it when imposter feelings strike. Your brain has a negativity bias. Counteract it with concrete proof of your capability. Remember, you don't have to be the best to deserve your place. You just have to be committed to growing. Your turn. Fourthly, watch out for the martyr. You're addicted to burnout. Look how much I suffer. Martyrs tie their worth to sacrifice and struggle. Working 80 hours, I'm a hero. Ignoring your needs, I'm selfless. Running on fumes, I'm committed. But martyrdom isn't noble, it's self-harm with a standing ovation. And here's what's really happening. You're teaching people to exploit you. You're setting the precedent that your boundaries don't matter. You're modeling unhealthy behavior for everyone around you. Ask yourself, What am I avoiding by staying busy? What feelings come up when I actually rest? For many martyrs, stillness brings uncomfortable emotions, guilt, questioning your purpose, facing relationship issues you've been too busy to address. Real talk. You can't heal others from an empty cup. In fact, your selflessness might actually be controlling. When you do everything, you don't let others grow. When you never receive, you block others from the joy of giving. Confidence isn't saying no, it's saying I'm worth a hell yes. It's believing your needs matter equally. Drop the cape, prioritize yourself. The right people will stay. And here's the magic. When you finally rest, your creativity, presence, and impact actually increase. You can give from abundance, not depletion. Fifthly, we have the inner critic. You think bullying yourself works. If I'm cruel enough to myself, I'll improve. If I never celebrate wins, I'll stay hungry. If I focus on flaws, I'll fix them faster. Sound familiar? Newsflash: shame is a garbage motivator. Studies show self-compassion beats self-criticism for long-term growth every single time. Why? Because shame makes you hide. Compassion makes you courageous. But the inner critic is sneaky. It disguises abuse as accountability. It tells you that kindness equals complacency. It convinces you that other people deserve compassion, but you need the whip. Let's get neurological. When you attack yourself, your brain activates the same threat response as external danger. You literally can't access your higher reasoning when you're in self-directed fight or flight. No wonder critical self-talk leads to procrastination, numbing behaviors, and giving up. Try this. Next time you mess up, talk to yourself like you'd talk to a friend. You're learning. It's okay. What can we take from this? Radical, right? Here's why it works. Confidence grows in safety, not war zones. The ultimate rebellion against a critical world isn't more criticism, it's revolutionary self-kindness. Start with 5 minutes daily of deliberate self-compassion. Watch what happens when you become your own ally instead of your own enemy. Sixthly, there's the victim. You feel powerful when you blame others. Parents, exes, the economy, the system. It's their fault, right? Victims love blame because it's comfortable. If they ruined me, I don't have to try. If the world is against me, failure is expected. Let me be clear, real trauma and injustice exist. This isn't about denying your legitimate experiences, it's about what you do with them now. Because here's the plot twist. Accountability is power, not for their actions, for your healing. Not for what happened, for what happens next. The moment you say, "This is my life to create," everything shifts. Think of it like this. Holding on to resentment is drinking poison and waiting for them to die. It hurts you more than anyone. And while you're stuck in the story of what was done to you, your future is waiting, unlived. Here's a reframe. You're not responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you respond now. That's not victim blaming, that's victim empowering. Try this visualization. Picture yourself walking through a museum of your past hurts. You can observe each painful memory in its frame. Acknowledge it happened, but you don't have to take the paintings off the wall and carry them with you. You can say, "That happened, and I'm creating something new now." Drop the story, rewrite the ending. Your confidence depends on it. Seventhly, meet the procrastinator. You romanticize last-minute genius. I work best under pressure. No, you're terrified of failing, so you sabotage yourself first. Procrastination isn't lazy, it's emotional management. It's a preemptive excuse. If I fail, it's because I didn't try. If I rush, no one can expect excellence. But here's the truth. Consistency beats genius every time. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in cafes between naps. James Clear built Atomic Habits 1 sentence a day. Beyoncé rehearses when everyone else is sleeping. Excellence isn't born from grand gestures. It's built through tiny, unsexy daily actions. Procrastination also comes from perfectionism's evil twin, all or nothing thinking. If I can't do it perfectly, why start? If I can't work out for an hour, why bother with 10 minutes? But success is built on partial solutions consistently applied. You don't need motivation, you need micro actions. The 5-minute rule has changed my life. Just commit to 5 minutes of the dreaded task. Once started, you'll often continue. But even if you stop after 5 minutes, you've broken the psychological barrier of avoidance. Start before you're ready. Confidence compounds. And remember, future you will thank present you for beginning now, however imperfectly. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.